Christina, it's got to be a challenge though as a franchisor, especially new, because you get somebody that's inquiring, they're excited about your brand, you're excited about your brand, you want to grow this thing out. How do you tell people no? How do you filter people and say, I don't think this is a right fit for you? How are you able to do that?
That's, definitely one of the grows for me as a leader is to have to be able to have those difficult conversations. And we have told a significant amount of people no. So the good news is I'm getting better and better at it.
That's it. It's just a matter of just keep doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we want to make sure that we have somebody that not just believes in your vision, but of course is going to uphold to the standards, the operating procedures. I think especially in your brand, because you do have so many different services, right, that you're offering. So even with the few franchises that you have, how are you able to make sure that you're getting consistency on how people are operating?
So we have a very in-depth training that our franchisees go through prior to launching, as well as an extensive operating manual that really assists. We have a ton of, we have a learning management software for them to give their coaches access to, because we are so startup. We are very founder-led culture, which gives me a lot of involvement at this critical early emerging brand phase. And, a lot of us as physical education teachers, we have so many great qualities that we can deliver to children, especially when it's not in a 1-on-30 model.
Sure. Yeah. Well, right now your franchisees are in quite, they're quite in quite of a position that they're getting all you. They're getting Christina when they need something, right?
Yes.
So you're just starting out. You're a micro emerging franchisor, which is awesome. Is it just you right now?
We do have about 5 on the home team.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what are some of the other roles that are being filled?
Sure. So we have a franchise development officer. We have a franchise business coach. We have myself. I'm a little bit like a Swiss Army knife. I get to have all the skills. And then we have 2 office assistants on our team as well.
Okay. All right. So the good news is right now there's more of you than there are franchisees. So you're not being outnumbered yet.
Correct. I can only imagine going from the man to the zone will be fun.
Exactly. Exactly. So a little bit more about the training. So is the training done classroom style or in Westchester, or is it all done online? How does that work?
It's done in Westchester. It's done in person. There is a hands-on at our sessions, as well as a classroom component. But I'll be honest, and of course, you're the expert here. Let's be real. But it's all about the continuing support, and that's really our strong suit.
Yeah. No, I found that when I was doing training early on, I wanted to give the franchisees everything, right? So you give them way too much information and they can't even digest it all. And then they start filtering out in their brain, okay, I think I need this now. I think I could hold off, but it's almost like they don't know what's most important. What I inevitably end up doing was I ended up breaking up training in phases, because it was too much for them to, to be able to just retain. And they're so excited, but it becomes a challenge. But I think for your brand, especially because you have so many different services, doing the training hands-on, they really need to see that as opposed to just online. So I'm glad you're doing that. And with your business coach that you have, you probably already figured out that these franchise owners need to learn how to operate the business itself, the business of youth enrichment, not how to run a youth enrichment program. Have you found that yet?
Yes, that was very glaring open to me initially. Absolutely, is that they come with all of the phys ed certifications, master's degrees, right? All of the curriculum content. It is really the business acumen that we are providing support with, which is truly what I needed support with myself, but I had no one to turn to. So to be able to give them that leg up, because we have so many shortcuts, because we wasted our time, our money, our effort, our energy. Now we can make it that much more easier for the next physical education teacher to really be able to grow this in their community much larger and at a faster pace has been extremely rewarding.
Yeah, well, your franchisees are probably a lot like us. It was their first go at business. So we didn't know what they really needed at first, but they really need to know how to operate a business as we all discovered, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what about in the case of your franchisees, Christina, what's maybe some a unique challenge you think that they face that in a lot of other franchise brands that they don't encounter?
So for us, it's that we are pioneering a new category. Kids' personal training is not readily available. People are curious about it. We have an extremely high retention rate, so we know that once we build the brand awareness and they try it, the usage is through the roof.
Right.
But it's really just breaking through what is NeverStopMoving365.
So how does it work when a mom or dad inquire and book time with one of your franchise owners or with one of the PE folks? Is there a package of sessions or is it just one-off? How does it work?
Yeah, we really believe on being on demand so that families aren't locking in. Listen, we've all done it as parents. You lock into 12 Mondays at 5:00 and then your kid goes to 8.5 of them and it's like, what did I just pay for? So it is on demand. We have an app so families can book 24/7 from the convenience of their cell phone, and they log on, they book, they can pick a very specific sport that they want tutoring in for their child, or just a general exercise tutoring. And they can put in goals like core strength, upper body. They pick the day and time, and they get email confirmation of everything. Payment, everything goes through the app. So it is it's very convenient for families. And when they're a new family, everyone on our home office team, as well as our franchisee and the coach, gets notifications. So we have a system in place, jump on the phone, we speak to the parent. And this is the critical difference. We learn about the child, unrelated to exercise and fitness. We are asking them what is their favorite movie? Do they play a certain video game? All of the keys to build rapport so that we can go in, make that connection quickly with that child and help that child fall in love with physical activity.
That's so smart. What's the most popular age group that you're catering to now?
Ages 3 to 13 is our largest.
And so it's 3 to 13. And is there within that age, are you finding any kind of peak age that you're getting most of your clients?
It really is service dependent. Bike riding will look like 4 to 7.
Oh.
Swim will look earlier than that. And for kids' personal training, it's actually ages 10 to 16, even older.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So you mentioned that you have PE teachers that are typically your franchisee. Do you think that's your ideal franchise owner moving forward? Do you see other career paths for people to switch over and become a franchise owner?
Yeah, we are getting interest outside of the phys ed field for sure. We have some former college athletes or college coaches that, really see that this is a need in their community and that not every child thrives in a team sport. So as a parent, you really feel guilty when your child is on a screen. And so some people know it firsthand. So they are very interested in making this available in their community. So it's exciting to start to see the shift and the tides change a little bit.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And because kids are in school throughout the day, I would imagine most of the training is done after school. But have homeschool groups become part of your program yet?
Yes, absolutely. And we also service schools. So for example, schools can bring us in for after school enrichment. They can bring us in for fundraiser events for their PTAs. But a lot, Frank, preschools bring us in because preschools don't have phys ed teachers. So we provide fractional phys ed. I took a franchise term and I married it to phys ed. So we now provide fractional phys ed to preschools. Why not get these kids excited about exercise as young as possible?
Right. And you're taking the burden off of the preschools to deliver the service.
Correct. Absolutely. And we do it in an interdisciplinary format. So the preschool teachers love it because while the kids are learning the exercise movements and being introduced into the main sport skill themes like kicking, throwing, rolling, we are covering letters and numbers and days of the week and the weather. So it's been really great.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.